Hey guys, we are live. Welcome to Scoot Scoot Friday. I mean Mission Apollo. We're actually changing up a little bit. For those of you who don't know, we actually have a long form podcast, Mission Apollo, and our weekly live Scoot Scoot Friday that you're accustomed to. But we're going to be combining the two. So every week we're going to start off the top of the show with answering your questions like always, and then in the end we're going to transition to a question that our topic that we want to answer. And today it's going to be the update to the Apollo app 3.7 that Elwal has a lot he wants to share. So yeah, Elwal, if you have anything to add, otherwise we'll jump right into it.
Hi. Hi. No,
Hi.
it's a pleasure to be here.
Same. For those who don't know, my name is Randy. I'm actually on the marketing team. I've been at Apollo for a long time now, about 3 years. I do the marketing, I do the content. So I'll answer as much scooter questions as I can, but I'll be leaning on Elwal for all the details about the scooters themselves. So the first question we actually got was about the Apollo Go. Someone wanted to know, is that the official scooter that his girlfriend is going to want to ride? Is that the scooter that is least intimidating? Is it the best entry level scooter for someone, either your girlfriend or someone who's never ridden a scooter before? So what do you think, Elwal?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. Least intimidating. I'd say, all our handlebars right now, because when I think about intimidating, I think like, okay, how high is it to the ground? And the handlebar, does it look like a cluster of buttons like we had on the previous Phantom, for example?
Yeah,
So I would say all our models look pretty friendly, but yeah, like in terms of like size and the weight as well, right? When you're on a
yeah,
100-pound scooter, it's more intimidating. I would say the Go and the Air are probably the good ones, and it depends what scooter you have as well to go with your
sure.
girlfriend, right? Because if you have the Pro going at 65 an hour and you have your
Not
girlfriend with
keeping
the
up.
Air at 35, yeah, you're gonna wait.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would say, yeah, the Air, and if you want something a bit more power, or if there's a bit of hills where you live, the Go is the way to go, and it's still lightweight enough to carry easily, right?
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I mean, we have women on the team, and they ride the Phantom, the Pro, the City. They ride everything. I will say that I've been at Apollo for just over 3 years now. My girlfriend's always been a little bit apprehensive on a scooter, but she's gotten on the Go. She loves it. It's super comfortable for her. So yeah, I think if maybe scooters haven't been for your girlfriend or haven't been for someone in your life who hasn't tried a scooter before, the Go might be the best option.
Yeah, and
Uh,
in terms of maintenance as well, it's pretty easy. Like, if like it's for your girlfriend that doesn't know much about the mechanic, or maybe
yeah,
she does, but usually, it
yeah,
needs to be a bit more like maintenance wise easier. And the Go is perfect for that with the drum brake, the regen.
for sure.
It's super easy to use.
Even people like me, I'm not much of a repair guy, so it's good for me too.
Yeah,
Next up, speaker, we're talking about Go and Air. Someone wants to know if you had to pick one, which one should they buy?
the Go. I would buy the Go because of the dual suspension.
Yeah,
Even if the Air has the front one, how we built the airflow
yeah,
suspension, it just feels amazing. And
yeah,
what I like about the Go is that okay, you can jump curb, you can jump things with it, and you're never gonna like bottom out metal on metal. It's
yeah.
always have the rubber built in on both sides. So this is really cool, and obviously for the dual motor, if you're looking for a bit more thrill, it's the way to go. What about you, Randy?
Yeah, no, I think the dual motor makes a huge difference. I mean, you can save a few bucks on the Air, but honestly, what you're getting extra from the Go is really worth it. The Air might weigh just a little bit less, but honestly, I think it's the Go is really well balanced out. It feels a lot lighter than it actually is, and so I'd have a hard time recommending the Air over the Go, even though the Air is a great scooter.
And there's only, the Air 2023, the latest iteration is 41 pound, and the Go is 46. It's
Yeah,
only 5 pound,
yeah.
and it's worth it, right? For the other
Yeah.
motor, for the style as well, all the lights.
Exactly. The lights. I personally love the dot display. I really love that as well. So, yeah, I would go with the Go. A little more technical question. UL certification. What is that? Can you give a clear definition to all those of us who are not sure what that is at all?
Yes, absolutely. UL certification, firstly, it's expensive. That's the thing that is
It is
shocking.
actually. I do
The
know that
price.
much.
Yeah, you need, for people, if you are curious, about $50,000 US per model for
Yeah.
UL. So this is why you don't see everyone with it. It's a huge investment. And once you make this investment and you get UL, it takes 2, 3 months to do this. It's a long time. Then you cannot change anything about your model. You cannot put a more powerful headlight. You cannot tweak the controller. So it's very limiting and unfortunate when you are someone like Apollo, for example, that we are always innovating. So I'm not a fan of UL, but what is it, right? Because now New York City is requesting it.
Exactly.
UL is a certification that basically they're gonna test. everything about the scooter, everything that is electronic. So they're going to test headlight to see the power consumption of it, the turning signal, the controller, and the controller they're going to be testing it at every if you want degree of throttle, every power of the controller, and they're going to be opening everything. Like when I get the official UL report, you see like the motor sliced up. You see it's insane the amount of details you get. It's far beyond everything else in terms of certification. But it's basically guaranteeing you that the electric system of your scooter is safe.
Right.
As we all know, people were just slamming parts together for scooters, and they still do in most cases. To make, and it just looks like every component out of the shelf. Of course, those components were not made to fit together. So having this certification, well, it's a peace of mind. And we see now as scooter more and more powerful when they don't necessarily have the battery or the controller to even be able to push that current. So UL is going to test all of it and certify that, it's safe or no, it's not safe. And
Right.
in this case, UL would just not be accredited to them. And if people are curious, like, how do I know that my model is UL certified? Because you go on I did that myself. I went on competitor's website and asked for it, and it said, yeah, it is. And when you ask for proof, it's like, yeah, it's coming. It's like not clear. Well, all the scooters that are UL certified have a UL sticker on them. It's called a laser sticker. It's a kind of sticker that looks like a Pokemon card, like a hologram sticker.
Yep.
And on the box of the scooter as well. And you can take that number and go in the UL database and just put that number just on the search bar of UL, and you're gonna see the report. So that's what you could do. And your landlord would, if you're in New York, will probably ask for it. This is what you need to show.
Amazing. Cool. The marketing team, we're actually working on a blog post and a video that's going to talk about it as well. So stay tuned for that, month of March, beginning of April, we're going to have that coming out. Next question. Someone took their city through the mud and they want to use a power washer on it. We always talk about IP66 rating and stuff like that. Would you recommend that, Elwha?
Well, it depends on which power washer, right? Because I just bought one for my car and I realized there's a lot of different type of power washer. I would say it should be fine, but obviously be careful where the electronics are, So where you have the charging port, don't go blasting in it like this. And same thing for the throttle and the display, the sole handlebar assembly. I would recommend wiping it down. And how the CD is built in the air, it's a metal piece and a plastic bottom enclosure. So wash it from the top if you have to wash it. That's how I would do it. It should
Agreed. Yeah. Whenever I have a power washer, I've used it from the top down. I avoid, the display, and I usually kind of keep it around the tires, the suspension area where things the gunk kind of builds up. But otherwise you should be fine.
Exactly.
Someone really loves the boosted rev throttles. They want to know if that's ever something we consider putting on our scooter. Personally, I'm not sure why they love it. I don't really like it that much, but I know that we kind of get that feedback a lot.
Yeah, we had I have one in my desk for now that was made by Dial. It's an electric car company. I like those throttles. The main reason why we decided to go with our own, and coming from electric skateboard myself, I like the fact that it's all modular from one thumb. At first we wanted to do throttles to have buttons on them, like the turning signal, to have like easy access, and even the engineering wise, it was a lot easier. Well, at the end, no, because we're at the 8th iteration of our throttle, but we thought it was a lot easier to do regular throttles. Now that people are requesting turning signal on one side and they don't like taking their thumb off the accelerator or the regen for turning signal, maybe it's something we could consider, and being able to have everything on one side would allow me to have a shorter handlebar on compact models like the Go, which is where it's important to have a compact handlebar. So maybe right now what I'm doing for fun with the guys in the warehouse, shout out Josh and Lorenzo, we're going to be installing a VSC controller inside the Pro to test something, and we're going to put a throttle like this on it. So
very cool.
Maybe we can share it with the community. I can make a video and show it. But those are cool. It's just there was no. The important thing to know too, Boosted Rev had a patent on those throttles that they sold to line, and other people made it, but they are infringing that patent like Ryan. So to find a good quality throttle, that is like not feels cheap, that's the hard part to do. And I'm not going to reopen new mold for throttles. We're past that.
We've gone down that road.
Yes.
Last pre-submitted question, then we're going to jump into the chat. Someone wants to know they love the regen, but can you ever do too much regen? Can it like damage the scooter? Can it break? How should you use it? Sparingly or whenever you want?
Yeah, that's a great question. For other models, I don't know how they built their battery pack and controller, and I would say that yes, you need to be careful with your regen. And the proof is, let's say if you have an electric car, if it's too cold, you don't have regen. It's gone. They disappear. If your car, the charge is full or above 90%, you don't have regen as well. So there's definitely something about the temperature and the amount of regen you have, which currently we don't apply. You always have the same amount of regen, even if your battery is full. But it's because how we built our controller. We have little capacitor inside that can take the extra charge.
Yep.
That being said, if you live at the top of the steepest hill in San Francisco and your scooter is charged to the max and you weigh like 300 pounds and you go regen, there's good chance that you're gonna fry the controller. So I would, what I do is when it's above 90%, I use it just in short bursts, and under 90%, it's fine. And regen, when you use it in short bursts, it's not really recharging the battery. It's when you go slowly for a long period of time. So if you go downhill and you're like halfway through the regen, that's when we're pumping the juice inside the battery. So be careful for that. And from what I can see, electric cars, if it's like from under 0 degrees Celsius, be careful, because I think that's going to affect the battery.
Okay, good to know. Jumping into the chat, the rim size on the Apollo Go, is it 6 or 6.5 inches, OL?
The rim size, it's a good question. I don't know. It's made to fit 9-inch tires. The rim size, I don't know. I have nobody here that can
No
check.
worries,
So
Brad.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah, Brad, I'll find out, and I'll leave it in the chat, in the comments of this video after when we're done. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Afternoon. Someone wants to know. I've been dropping emails about getting into the insider stuff. Who should I email? Randy? Yeah, I'll leave my email. It's randy@apolloscooters.co. If you want to be an insider, if you want some, extra access to things, you want to be a part of our content, do some testimonials, be in a future video, I'll leave it in the comments after. But randy@apolloscooters.co. I will hook you up. Martin, the Pro is the least intimidating. So stable, it comes down to how much you like your girlfriend. Just buy her one. He also commented the Phantom is the most intimidating, and that some girlfriends can ride motocross. Yeah, no, for sure. It's not to be judgmental. We have guys and girls who are a little bit apprehensive on riding scooters. Other are gun ho and they'll jump on the Pro or the Phantom. We had a girl who used to work at Gabby. I remember the first day she jumped on a Phantom and went 40 right out of the parking lot. So it really kind of depends on who you are. But we do get the question a lot about the perfect scooter for someone who's new or for their girlfriend. Just speaking from experience, like I said, my girlfriend who's never, really been into riding scooters, the Go's been the first one she got into. I'm in New York. Do I risk confiscation for not having UL certification on my battery?
Absolutely. New York is cracking down right now. They're closing all the scooter shop, all the repair shop. New York is really savage. So yes, it's going to come. So. Yeah, and it's not even the certificate. The law came into regulation as of September, I believe. And even if your scooter was made before that, you've been having an e-bike for 5 years or a scooter for 2 years, they don't care. You get the ticket, and in some instance they just take the scooter. Yeah,
so definitely look for that certification. Next week for the Go pre-order deliveries. I don't have the information deliveries. UL for the pre-order.
Yeah, it's gonna be next week.
You do? Okay,
perfect. It's gonna be next week.
Amazing. Asking again about the Pro off-road tires. Yeah, I know we talked about that last week, about if there's enough people to kind of get together, we'd do an order. Do you have an update on that, or?
On my side, I'm ready.
I know you're ready.
We can order them. I'm ready. So it's.
So you know what, guys? I know it's kind of popped up once in a while. Again, the comments, I'll link to maybe a document. Just sign up from there. If we get enough names together, we'll place the order. Where can I find technical documentation for the controller and its communication technology? Example, there's no mention of Bluetooth standard, packet formatting, or serial connection. Oh wow.
No way. It's not public. It's something we keep private. If there's something you want to try to do, you can reach out to me. Maybe Randy can put my email in the chat.
Yeah, I'll leave them.
But it's not open source what we do. So cool. Unfortunately.
Trent, I believe it's the Trent who used to work here. Love seeing Randy on Mission Apollo. Yeah, they let me out of the studio for once. Maybe once a year. Will Apollo ever offer different colors or stickers or wraps? I know we've had one the warehouse at once that was like a different color. I'm not sure if it's an official thing we're going to be doing. Maybe with the Go Elwa.
Yeah, maybe. The Go, we made a couple colors for
Yeah.
fun. It's always a question of forecasting. Like right now we are starting to be in stock on everything. But imagine if we introduce colors on top of that, we're going to be stuck with 500 Go that are purple, and then like the gray is going to bring pre-order. So this is a challenge. Wraps are good options, and I know we worked with some shop to do it, but the shop we were working with was like $500. It's not worth it. So I believe that as our models become more popular and we go more and more international, the Nile shop's gonna, there's already shops doing that for like the Zero scooters, which they sold millions of them. So I think that's gonna come. But on our side, to answer your question, not for now.
Yeah, I think that right now this year we've kind of hammered that home on all of our episodes and our videos. We're trying to refine things, be in stock, up our customer service, really kind of tone up all the things that we're maybe lacking a little bit. So yeah, colors would be great, but maybe not right now. Martin, I used to have a Harley Davidson that had a V-Rod. It had turn signal switches on each side. I have a motorcycle with turn signals on each side. Actually, V-Rod was fine. Great.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it, turning signal on each side. I think it's simple, and it's one arrow to the right, one arrow to the left. So I love it. But I think it would be nice to have an alternative for people. Maybe one handlebar come with twist throttle and you have turning signal on one side. The other handlebar, it's our classic throttle, and you just change the whole thing.
Sure. Xavier giving me a shout out as the King videographer. Thank you very much. Xavier's been in a few of our videos, a former employee. More stuff here. Update on when the Apollo lock is arriving. We talked about that last week. There was a small change, right, Elwal? So
so the lock, we amended the mold. The production of the lock is starting on the 12th, so definitely later than we were expecting. Starting on the 12th, I am going to China on the 17th, and it should be done by the time I arrive, I was told. So I'm going to review them, to see them with the team. And then if it's good, they're being put on a boat and shipped to Canada. So it's going to take a month. So late April. I know it's later than expected, but trust me, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be secure, and it's going to be a beautiful experience to unbox as well.
Yeah, I've seen the boxes. Yeah, I've seen the packaging. It's really, really nice. Maybe can elaborate on what price would a scooter be if we wanted 0 to 20 in under 2 seconds and weighing less than 60 pounds?
What is 20 miles per hour? It's 30 kilometers?
Yeah, something like that.
Under 2 seconds, 32 kilometers an hour. But it's not a question of voltage; it's a question of discharge of the controller. So it's wattage of the motor. Under 2 seconds, 0 to 30. I don't even know what's our current stats, to be honest. So it would be hard for me to say that. We are working on a nice scooter right now, and I would imagine it does that because it goes pretty fast.
Keep quiet.
So I don't know. I think we can make it at a reasonable price. We learned a lot about how to manufacture things more cheaply. So I think it's possible without breaking the banks.
Nice. I just sent an email to you, Randy, for insider stuff. Let me know. Okay, I will check it. I apologize if I haven't gotten back to you yet. Been a little bit busy, but I will check that before the end of the week. Would love a child from combo GoPro with weight and performance. I guess. Sorry, combo, the Go and the Pro. Okay, right. I mean, yeah, that's like the perfect. That's like the perfect combination, right? Something that weighs nothing and has incredible performance. It's kind of like the dream scooter.
Yeah, the Go and Pro, they are opposite of the spectrum in terms of weight. So I guess something 60, something like the Phantom, right? The Phantom V4. Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. It's doable.
Yeah.
Future, we're gonna see in the future, but
for sure.
Yeah,
a lot of cool stuff coming. I believe that is it for the chat questions. You guys are kind of gone quiet. So Awad, you maybe transition over into the main topic, which is the app update, 3.7. Some really kind of cool stuff there. So I'll let you kind of walk through it. Let us know what that entails.
Yeah, absolutely. So the app, the app, we've been working on it for a while now. It's not that great of the ratings are divided. If we look on the Canadian store, it's a Canadian store. The reviews are divided by country. In Canada, people are, I think, nicer in general because we have 4 stars on both Apple and Android. If we look on the US side, we are at 3-star for Android and 4-star for Apple, or almost 3.8. Even if something that is important to note, is that we do care a lot about the app, and we have a whole team dedicated to the app that cares a lot, just as much or even more than the hardware.
Sure.
And they've been working on it to make it better. And we added some people to the team that I don't know if you posted the video you shot, Randy.
No, not yet. No, you'll see a couple of new guys waving in the background there, guys.
We added a technical lead to the team to help us with the direction, and we added a QA as well, someone that is in Montreal every day is here and just testing with every models, which is what we were lacking before. So all that said, it is getting a lot better, and we started working on the V4 of the app, a whole redesign of it. It looks insane. It's beautiful. This thing was going to take maybe 4 months. And we decided to pause this in favor of. Well, we thought about it. We're like, well, what is the problem right now with the mobile app? Is it that it's ugly? Well, no. It's, I think, objectively the most advanced one in electric scooters. If you look at the Segway One, the Neo, whatever, it's not even close. They're nice. They're okay. Not even close. So the problem is the bugs. It's trying to connect to the scooter and doesn't connect, or you try to record your ride, you're recorded 15 kilometers of your ride, and then bam, it closes in your face, and you're like, okay, I just lost everything. What the fuck? Yeah. Or your scooter disconnect, because this happens sometimes, and then the ride stops. So we thought, okay, we're gonna push back the V4 by maybe a month, 2 months, and work on the V3, which is the one that is currently out, and work on just stabilization and make the experience better. And this is what we've been doing. So the 3.7 is the first release that we did with this new structure in place of just focusing on stabilization, cleaning the code, and having a dedicated QA and a technical lead in the team. And the difference is night and day compared to before on just how confident we are when we push a release, because we tested every possible scenario. So this is the premise of the 3.7. What is new about the 3.7?
What are we getting, Awad?
Yeah. So 3.7, we fixed 15, 20 bugs, depends who's counting them. Around 20 bugs have been fixed about a disconnection issue, or when the app was crashing and there was some bugs. Let me just mute some bugs linked to the controller itself, how it's communicating with the app, or we make a controller, we make an SDK for it, and then we realize that this SDK, the software development kit, is not always working well. So you need to ask the engineers, the software engineer, to examine. This is complicated. And we got all of them to fix those issues. We got them to fix all those issues. And this is the first release that this new SDK is implemented. So it should be a lot more stable. And those bugs represented, the SDK bugs represented 40% of all the bugs on iOS. So just imagine the amount of it's going to be so much smoother. So this is the first big one. Stabilization, it's smoother now. And we pushed it yesterday. There's not a single crash yet, touching wood. The other stuff is things that we've been talking about for a long time. So if we're talking about improvement, there is the lights on the Pro. When you select them right now, it's not that intuitive, because we have a spectrum of color, the RGB color, and we notice that on one side of the spectrum, the colors are matching perfectly when you put them. On the other side, you put a red, it's like orange or sometimes purple. It's kind of weird. So we realized that it was shifted. So we had to adapt all those values, which now is done. So when you select a color, it should be more precise. Yep. The other thing is, when you move this slider around on the spectrum, you need to select a color, then click set. You're going to get out of the screen, and then it's going to appear on the scooter. So to dial the perfect color that you want, it's quite annoying, because every time you need to reopen the page, do set. Okay, no, it's not this one. Reopen the page, set it, set. So now it's updating in real time. So when you move it on the slider, you see it on the scooter. So to find the perfect shade is going to take you 5 seconds. So this is fantastic. This is only on Android for now, and it's going to be pushed on iOS as of 3.8, and 3.8 is planned for the end of the month of March. What else? We put in place Connect Plus. So, we've been talking about IoT for a long time with our scooters. Right now it was free. And everybody who pre-ordered the Pro, it's free as well. There's people that didn't even pre-order it. They just bought it. They get a month for free. This is still the case. But now when you connect to the IoT, you need to put your credit card. And then you're going to be, you put your email if you have free access. It's going to grant you free access. And we're just going to start billing you at the end of the free access. Yeah. And you can cancel it at any time. You can decide if you want to be charged by a month or by year. It's a bit cheaper by year because the duration is longer. But this is still all the case. So you still need to put your credit card, but you have your 3 months that we promise you. And so far, this is also working pretty well. So there's that is implemented. The alerts, if someone touched your scooter and it's locked, like receiving a ping notification on your phone, this is not yet implemented. So don't ask me why it's not working. It's not implemented. We haven't made it yet. It's going to be in the future, probably 3.9. Every time we talk about a version, 3.7 today, 3.8 at the end of March, 3.9, it's always a 3 weeks sprint, as we call it. So always keep that in mind. If I say 3.9, it's going to be in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
What else? The most annoying bug that we saw by far since the start that we tried to fix and refix is the top speed issue. People are adding their scooter to the app, and you buy an Apollo Pro that is supposed to go 65, 70 kilometers an hour, 40 miles an hour. And the app, for some reason, is pushing 50 kilometers an hour. And this is the top speed limited value that you see in the advanced setting. And it's locked. It's locked like that. You cannot change it. You need to do the factory reset of the scooter to push the new value, as we were doing in the onboarding that failed. Yeah. Well, now we just unlock that value. So you can just go there and change it, and voila. It's pretty simple.
So it's a simple thing that's amazing. How many people complained about the factory reset? Like, I totally get it. It was annoying. So yeah, that's a big fix.
Out of the top 3 issue of the app, we have dashboard that we see why people are contacting CX. If you contact CX because you have a problem with your PIN of your scooter or Bluetooth connection, this ticket is tagged, and all this data get pulled into a nice dashboard. Shout out to Nick for making it. And then we analyze the speed. To answer your question, Randy, the speed was the second most common issue after the PIN reset issue. So it was a lot of people reaching out to us. So this is fixed now. You can change it yourself, and this is applicable for iOS and Android, and this is applicable for all models. So that's nice. Nice. And it's mostly nice for CX as well, which can have less tickets to deal with. Then we have the cruise control activation. Right now, to activate cruise control on our models, you need to, if you turn it on in the app, you need to hold the throttle down for 6 seconds, 7 seconds, and depend on your setting that you have in the advanced setting. And then it's going to kick in. This is not ideal because it's hard to keep the same, like the throttle, you need to keep the exact same
position
push, I guess. Yeah. Position, yeah. For that amount of seconds to kick in, which is almost impossible when you go over a bump and you're moving like this. It's not intuitive. It should be like a car. It should be like you press a button and voila. This is what was implemented now. So right now you can activate cruise control, and you have 2 choices, automatic or manual. Automatic is the behavior I just described. If you go to manual, you need to press a button to activate the cruise control. So if I go, I just, I'm on my Pro, I roll, I'm riding, and, I'm modulating the throttle, but it's okay, this is good. I press 2 seconds on the left turning signal, and that's going to activate the cruise control. You're going to hear the beep beep of the cruise control, and you're going to set that speed. This is fantastic. So who is able to do that right now? Android and iOS implemented, but it's not all the scooters because we need to flash a special firmware inside the display of the scooter. So right now, as people know, we are able to do such thing, but it's for the controller. So we have 2 PCB. We have the controller and the display. The controller, we're able to update now. The PCB of the display is going to come in the future. It's more complicated than it seems. So we can only, all of that, so that we can only do it for scooters that we planned for this during the production, and that firmware was flashed in. And this is the production of the Pro, not the beta, the production of the Pro, and all the Goes as well. That's going to be delivered next week. For everyone else, we need to wait to be able to update the firmware of the display, which is going to happen around May. We're waiting for the factory to develop that feature to support it within the app. If you have a pro beta and you absolutely want it, it's a deal breaker for you, you can go to our repair center and we can flash new firmware inside the display. But it's going to be a bit more complicated. So I would recommend just waiting for me and have this done like everyone else. For the air in the cities, as all the 2024 production are going to support this. So this is lovely. And for all the other ones, we can do it as of 2023, I believe. But it's the same thing. I'm going to need to flash a new firmware for your display, which only going to happen in May. So if you have one of those models that are not compatible, don't reach out to us saying that the app is not working. It is intended to not to work because this function is not available. You're not even going to see it in the app.
Sure.
So this is important to know. Then we have the turning signal. So at first, when we implemented turning signal, it was unlimited. You were pressing on the left or right arrows and it was blinking indefinitely. People were complaining about that. They were saying that they would like this to be removed automatically after X amount of blank. We did surveys and people settled on 7 blinks. This is a sweet spot. It's giving you enough time to turn. We said, perfect, implemented it. And now that we did, well, people are complaining that it's not infinite. A lot of people. So we asked our SDK, again, the software engineer to develop the feature to be able to choose between infinite or 7, or even set it yourself, but this is for later. So for now, you have the choice between infinite and 7 blinks. This is the same flow and the same condition as I just mentioned for the cruise control. You're going to go into, there will be a new option if you are an owner of the new Pro production, not the beta, or if you are an owner of the Go production as well. For everyone else, you have to wait for the firmware update of the display, which again is going to be in May. So you're not even going to see this option. And yeah, you're going to be able to decide between 7 blinks or infinite. So it's a quality of life improvement. It's not a deal breaker, but at least, you gain more control over your scooter, which is lovely. So those, I would say, those and all the bugs that we fixed are the main update for 3.7. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. And yeah, for 3.8, maybe we can mention it as well. What is planned in the pipeline right now? When people record their ride, like we mentioned multiple times, we're going to give you AMPs, AMP. This is rewards point when you ride your scooters, and this can be exchanged. This has monetary value. How much exactly? I don't remember on top of my head. I think 10 point is $1, something like that.
Yeah.
How do you earn AMPs? It's you ride with your scooter, and 1 kilometer is going to give you 1 AMP. So 10 kilometers is going to give you $1. You need to record your ride. You need to press the right button. And this is to incentivize people to use a mobile app and for us to collect the data about our hardware. When you record your ride, I get all the data about all the sensors, and this is helping us tremendously making decisions for future scooter. Okay, this type of battery, how does it react? This BMS, like what is the temperature, or like the regen we're talking about before, how is it affecting the battery life, that much regen? And we have this over 30 sensors on your scooter, so it's very valuable, and this is why we're rewarding you with those amps. This is going to be, you're going to be able to see those amps in the app as of 3.8, but as of last September, all the rides that you're recording, we're going to retroactively give you those points when it's implemented. So right now, please record your rides if you want to participate to that. And as of 3.8, it's going to pop up in your app and you're going to say, I have 1,000 points or something like this.
Amazing.
It's nice because we have people like on the Pro right now, the person who has the highest mileage, it's not you, Martin, sorry. They have 3,600 kilometers.
I'm going to share the list today. I'm going to block out the names and stuff, but I think it's 3,600 the top rider. It's a lot.
It's insane, and if 10 points is equal $1, then it's what, $350 pretty much, right? So that right there, this guy, just by riding a scooter, he can buy new sets of tire, new sets of brake, and I don't know, accessories, out of nowhere for free, just because he pressed the button while recording. 1 mile equal 1 amp, not 1 kilometer.
Right.
Important distinction. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. And in 3.8, we're gonna have a bunch of other things, but I'm gonna wait for us to develop them before announcing it.
Yeah, we'll wait to make sure that you know exactly what's coming in the pipeline.
Yes.
Before we wrap up, we'll see if we have any other questions. So you guys were debating GT and the Pro. People saying they really love the Pro. That's amazing. Martin was saying that the Pro Beta does support manual cruise control. Is that?
No, it doesn't. So Martin was seeing it in his app. Does support manual cruise control. Not that I'm aware. And Martin, when you were testing it with your iOS, you were not hearing the beep. So you were seeing it because there was a bug, but it was not beeping because it's not supported. I will double check. We flash all your new display with the new firmwares with something else. So
Yeah.
if it does, Martin, I use it all the time.
Maybe reach out to
if it is, we're just gonna add it.
Yeah. See here, Iyaz, sheesh, I'm recording, but nowhere near 3K. Then you got some rookie numbers there. You got to pump them up. And I believe that's pretty much it in terms of questions. So I guess we're going to wrap this one up. Let's see if anyone want to
add. No, nothing to add. People, community. If you like the app, please go rate it. You know, it was so low, and we made so much progress. You know, I know it's not perfect, but you know, for our team, for me, for Randy, you know, it would go such a long way to achieve at least that 4-star that we deserve. So please take a moment and go rate the app if you can. It would be highly appreciated.
Honestly, I get it. It's one of those things where, you know, if you enjoy it, you don't rate it. If you hate it, you rate it. I'm sure a lot of you in the chat, you use it, you love it, so you don't say anything. But no, be vocal about it. And the best way to be vocal, leave a review. It goes a long way in helping us, so we really would appreciate it. So that's it, guys. So that is the new Mission Apollo. This is going to be episode 42. We're going to pick it up from where we left off Scoot last week. So next week, we will be back with the all-star team of Elwha, Mac, and or Chris. And I will see you guys again next year. We have some great videos coming out, so stay tuned for that. And if you guys want to be a part of next week's episode and have your questions answered, obviously jump in the chat, or ahead of time during the week, I post onto social media asking you to submit your questions. You can definitely do that. I will make sure they are read at the top of the show. Well, have a great week. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you, Randy, for joining.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Bye.